layers, and then it has this sterling stick in here. But see, if you come over there, you can see that I have a lot of water on the surface and glaze at the bottom. So if nobody uses it today, this stick will take you forever to stir it up. So I wanted to use an electric beater. If you see the water like this, somebody already used it like 30 minutes ago, and then you're coming over glazing it, you can probably get by stirring with this. But if you are coming over, you can see that like there are a lot of sediment there. I wanted to use this mixer, okay? Mixer is electric, so you should not have water on your hands. And then you don't want to have this one in there because it's going to be hitting this guy. So take this out, have your things, that is your cover, have your things upside down, and we want it to not dripping all over the place, so put this one on over here like that. And then you're going to drag this guy into this room. And corner of this room, there's a bucket with a mixer in there. Today, because I want you guys to see, it's kind of noisy. That's why I want you to do inside with the door closed, okay? But today, I'm going to do in front of you. These are little waters with a little bit of mixer in it. Okay, before actually we do that, I wanted to show you this. Every pieces of glaze will be like a molten candy when you get it in the kiln fire. So it became like a molten candy. You know how you get your, say you have something sitting on a molten candy, when they dry out, luckily you can put them in the water, the candy will melt away. But this glaze, if you have a glaze at the bottom, will be permanently glued. This is the best glue you can find in the world. We just have to either break your pieces or break our shells. Those are one of the things that happen. So a lot of times if you have a glaze or in a vicinity over there, we're worrying about your glaze too thick, it's gonna fall down there. We reject your pieces, so it'll sit on the reject shell, okay? Because we were afraid of ruining our shell, ruining your pieces. So consider that rejection as like your second chance. So you can come over next time, then you see that your piece is rejected, you know that you're going to clean up more or your glaze is too thick. So now, to prevent this sticking, we are going to use wax. Wax is like a liquid wax that you almost find it at, you know, it's almost like a floor wax, basically slightly thicker format, okay? So in wax, the recommendation is actually put a wax, leave it over 24 hours, then you glaze it and wax will be not getting any more glaze. But since I'm doing it really quick here, I'm going to put a wax in here. Oh, can I have a newspaper? One newspaper, Kathy? Okay, when you're waxing it, please put a newspaper and wax all your pieces on there. That way we don't get a wax all over here. So newspaper would be kind of really good to have it on here. And you're going to use one soft brush. And when you're waxing it, be careful that you're not going to drip the wax somebody else's pieces, because that area will not get a glaze. Then you have to refire the bisque to get rid of that wax. So that's a lot of other process. So I'm putting on a really thin coat of wax. When you have a wax like a, you know, beading up on top there, which means you are using too much wax. And then you can always use a paper towel. Is there a paper towel out there? Okay. You can use a paper towel and to blot it off just a little bit. So I didn't really drip over the place, but I have a black, and it's going to be really shiny black here. And then I have this cut out is white. So I decided to go ahead and use actually aquamarine, which is a light transparent blue glaze. So when I dip this into the whole thing in a blue, because it's so light, the black will be still black, you know, because the light blue is not going to do anything. But all my line will be the blue, okay? So it will be like a black blue, and then it's going to be like that. So once you use the, we don't really have brushes for the wax. Just keep dry out around here. So do not shake the wax. That's one thing. When you shake it, it's going to go everybody's pieces, guys. So just gently open it up. I'm going to try to clean up this container. And brushes. You should have one cheaper brushes for the wax yourself. We have some brushes now, but it's going to be ruined in any minute. as soon as students start to wax their pieces because they don't clean up. You have to clean up as soon as you finish it in hot water. Otherwise, wax will ruin your brushes, okay? So, you come over as soon as you use it. I'm going to leave a few brushes that seems like some donations. And you want to use your hand. Get rid of all the wax under the hot water. This is how this already got ruined. Somebody used it, but see, I can see the wax is all over. You cannot really use this, guys. I didn't realize that how long it takes to get hot water here. Anyway, so it's been washed in. I think whatever brush they ran out. Do not use that big brush for the wax because that's not for. Okay, now. See, I got a water. Remember, water and electrical thing can kill you. Okay, so you know we don't want you guys to have water in your hands. So make sure that your water's all gone. And then I wanted to make sure that if I have any glaze in a shaft, the shaft is cleaned up. Because some people doesn't clean up the shaft very well. And then bring these guys over here. These are really heavy. These are really heavy duty. Actually, it was really long too, so I had to hold it like that, you know, because I'm so short. So I cut off almost one whole foot of it. So they're a little bit shorter now. And that's actually good length for this thing. But it's so heavy on this one. It's like a heavy duty thing because it's a 1/2 inch. So you want to lean it against this guy, okay? And stay not, we just had a big accident on Monday night when the Don was mixing this. People were grinding the bottom of the plastic so much with these guys. There was a tiny little crack on it. And it just opened up. So when we were mixing, it was like splashing the glaze all over the ground. It was the biggest mess. So please stay away from the plastic bottom, okay? Slightly up. And then lean it against here. And watch me. I'm going to actually mix it all over and go up and down, okay? Do not bring it up beyond the water level because it will splash all over on you, okay? So now. Mixed pretty well, but you guys have a lot of small pieces you're going to test it out first. So sometimes on the top, the water didn't really mix very well on the surface. So if you just put it on your tiny little piece right under the surface, you're going to get most of the time too thin a glaze, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. For all the small pieces, you guys have it there. I've seen sometimes, I can tell right away when people have a pieces like that. They could say you have a piece like you put it on there. They're like a really thick glaze and it slowly goes on. It's very watery. That means you didn't mix it very well, okay? Because you have too much glaze material at the bottom. So before you get out of these things with these things, come out here. I'm actually on the very surface of the very underneath surface of things with this tip, okay? These are the ones mixing it, you know? So you have to go up and down and mix it all the way around. But all along, remember this is heavy, so I'm leaning against this. It's much easier. Then when you're done, this is our water bucket. You wanted to put it on a water bucket and then clean it out. And if you have any glaze left over on a shaft, use your sponge and then just leave it there so other people will use it, okay? We found out this is one of the easier ways to keep the water bucket ready there to do it. Now, I'm ready to tip my glaze. Okay, when you do that, every time you're using the glaze, you use more water than glaze. So by the time students start to use a lot, even though I will adjust it all of this tonight, that it got thicker and thicker as the semester goes by. So if you are not sure about it, it should look like, when you put your hands in it, it should look like it's whipped cream. sort of, before you whip it, okay? So I will put my hands in it. I'm going to show you. Well, it's like that, okay? So that's okay. Unless you have a really big pieces, for the small pieces, this is a good thickness, okay? Sometimes, see, I don't need any glaze in the bottom of this guy, and I need the glaze all over the place. So sometimes, can I just wash my hands with it? I just wanted to do that. This is what, I'm doing the same glaze inside out. That's one of the easiest way of doing it. See, I'm holding this over because I don't need a glaze. Then I'm holding it very little bit of it and see whether I can do this upside down. Which is, I found that it's going to be very difficult. I have to use so many fingers. So, but if I'm doing something like that, see, I can dip this one in and pour it out. This whole thing will take one count, okay? So, do a dry run. See where you can hold it really well. See, you can turn it over, let the glaze go on. See, I can do that really well. So before you put it down, you're going to have to turn it over, see whether you can turn it over your pieces or not. Okay, so I can do that really well. And I'm done my dry run. Then I'm going to go in, one count, and be out, okay? One, out. So if you have more than one count, if you're doing like, like that, 2, 3 count, your glaze is going to be too thick. Okay, those of you who are beginning students that you cannot handle that quick, then you should use a sponge, dampen it around your pieces a little bit, okay? Then you're better. Okay, now I'm down here. See how they're drying out already? And I'm gonna see how this is where I was touching it. I missed the glaze. I have glaze in my hands. I just touch it up, and then these are done. Okay, now. Okay, just you're done, and then you think that, okay, I'm gonna put my pieces over there. That's not really gonna be the case. Most of the time, on top of your glaze, on top of your wax. Now these are dry enough that I can touch it, okay? So if your piece is something not drying out right away, that means somehow you got it either wetted it too much or you are in there too long, okay? So now I'm holding this guy. See, I do have a little glaze still on top of this. You're going to use a sponge. Make sure that all the areas that's touching, and then if your glaze is thick, you can use a metal rib and scrape it down just a little bit on top of the garbage. You can all use paper, and I'm done, okay? Then it's ready. This is where you're going to put your pieces. This 2 human shell. And a couple of these shells I'm going to use rejects. So if somebody put their green mirrors in here, this is the wrong place, okay? It's so heavy. Who made it? The green mirror should go on this kiln shelf over here, guys. Don't bring your green mirrors here. I see all these green mirrors. Somebody is still putting in a wrong place. So this is going to be, this is short. So put it on a short piece in a short order in. Because if you're kind of using this long one and a tiny little plate, then people have a long pieces, have no place to put it on. They will touch your pieces and they chip off your glaze. So that's, we are actually asking more like, chipping off things like that. So always find the right shelf. If I have a plate, I will use this shelf. If I have something taller or really taller, I go over there. If I have really shorter, I go over here, like that, okay? So you are going to do, this is only one, that when you have, remember we use a color on like a plate and you use the graffito and things like that? This will be actually a good one to use on a clear glaze, or even aquamarine will be really beautiful because the blue will be just blue, yellow will be slightly tinted with a greenish yellow, and it will be really pretty too. So I used an aquamarine right now. We have a clear aquamarine celadon that can go on all of these colored ones, okay? That will be really good choices. Actually, you can even use a white mat. That's okay too. So do the testing yourself, and then your 8 pieces plus 2 pieces more is required to be done on your first critique. Definitely your 8 small pieces, something I will. And I'm going to overlapping the glaze, and I'm going to do some more demonstration on using this metallic oxide, rubbing it and washing it off like that under the next week Monday. Okay? After test. Test so you know the answers, it will take 10 minutes. Those who don't know the answer, you take 15 minutes. Those who is going to really suffer, you take 20 minutes. So it's going to be really easy one. It's or multiple choice or true or false.
But we're not to glaze until we've taken the test, passed the test.
Yes, please. Yeah. And then my advanced student 100, the ceramic 2 and hand building one have a slightly harder test. You guys have 33 questions. Beginners have 25 questions. I already made a copy of it, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, guys. I just made a copy today. All right, so that's it, guys. So a lot of long distance. Thank you.